the only thing standing between you and your next level are beliefs that are not even true. And the good news is you can shift your beliefs literally in an instant. It doesn't need to take forever. You don't need to reprogram every single limiting belief and do all these things and jump over hoops and bend over backwards to finally reprogram yourself. No, it's a decision. It's a decision to accept a belief, which you have already done at some point in time. And it's a decision to no longer accept that belief and choose something different. And that's what we're going to get into today so that you can have an easier time manifesting, actualizing your dreams. First, if you are new to me, hello, my name is Stephanie Sage. I have been supporting spiritual entrepreneurial women for almost 10 years with growing their business, sharing their message, manifesting more clients, more abundance, and so on and so forth. And I absolutely love what I do. So if you want to reach more people, want to make more money, want to feel more fulfilled, want to step more into who you truly are, I got you. If you resonate with what I share, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And to learn how to work with me, all of that is in the description box below, along with awesome resources to support you in manifesting a life and business that absolutely sets your soul on fire. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so shifting your beliefs can actually be easy, but it first requires your awareness. But before I get into the meat of what I'm going to talk about in this, I first want to say this because it comes up for a lot of people. And that is the belief that you are blocked and you got to work through all of these blocks before you can manifest XYZ. I always hear people say, oh, I still have these money blocks. Oh, I'm so blocked when it comes to this. I'm still blocked when it comes to that. I'm still, I got to work on this. I got to work on that. Now, I say the word blocks, but I usually use little air quotes just because it's for reference to know what I'm talking about. But I don't believe that we are ever blocked. You're creating resistance due to things that you're choosing to continue to focus on. So when you think that you're blocked and you're constantly focusing on, I need to work through these blocks, you're always going to be freaking working through these blocks. Okay. So let's let that shit go and realize that you are a conscious creator of your reality and you have the power to choose what you focus your awareness and your attention on. And that is ultimately what's going to start reflecting in your reality. So when it comes to limiting beliefs, AKA disempowering beliefs, things that you've accepted consciously or unconsciously as true that are not actually true, that are not in your highest light. When I think of limiting beliefs and when I explain limiting beliefs to people, it's ultimately something that's just going against your true nature, something that is limiting, that is not expanding, something that is not in support of your goals, your desires, where you're going, etc. And beliefs are formed from very early on, as you may have heard, before we're age 7 or 8. Our unconscious mind is wide open. We're like a sponge. We're just taking in all of the information around us. And a lot of times we take in things that are not actually beneficial to us. And then that just becomes our programming. So at one point in time, you decided to believe it. Now you can choose a different belief, but it's going to require awareness. So the first step of shifting out of limiting beliefs is to be more aware, hyper aware of the dialogue in your mind and no longer identify with your thoughts. So for example, say you are wanting to attract more clients and more abundance into your life and your business, and you're putting yourself out there and you're doing all the things, but then you hear the little chatter of, oh, it's going to be hard. Like people aren't going to care what you're saying or people aren't going to know what you're offering. And you just hear that little negative voice in your head and it's telling you all these things. You don't actually have to believe that. You don't actually have to focus on that. You don't have to entertain that. You don't have to listen to that. You can observe it and realize that it's just a thought. It's an old program. So to shift the old program, the first step is to be aware of the program without getting mixed into it. So this does require a certain level of literally like awareness and presence. And for me, it has become more easy to be aware of my thoughts the more I quiet my mind and tune in to myself, tune in inward. And I meditate most mornings and most evenings, at least for 10 minutes, I tune in. And it's just gotten easier for me to catch certain things that are not in alignment with my truth and power. I'm not saying I never have negative thoughts. I'm human, I do, but I've gotten way, 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 way better at literally just looking at them objectively. So awareness is the first step. And it's because here's the thing. If you're not aware of your thoughts and you're just listening to every freaking thought that pops into your head or every program that comes up, every belief that is playing out, if you identify with that, it repeats the program. So we've got to break that program. First step is awareness. Next is to choose to focus on something different. So in the example that I shared before, you're wanting to call in more clients, more abundance, you're putting yourself out there, but then these beliefs, these patterns come up that are in this realm of, oh, it's going to be hard or people aren't going to want what I have to offer. You need to literally first, be aware. Second, actually cancel that out and say something different in your mind. Actually, it's easy to attract clients. I'm choosing to allow this to be easy. Or remind yourself of why people want to work with you, why you're amazing at what you do, why you are the perfect person for these people to support them on their journey, et cetera, et cetera. Like building yourself up in the opposite direction, the direction that you do desire, right? Consciously, instead of entertaining that old story, the old belief. And then third is to find evidence of what you do desire to believe, the thing that empowers you. It's easy to attract clients. It's easy to attract money. So find evidence in your own life and around you. So in your own life could be times in the past where people signed up with you out of nowhere, or people inquiring to work with you right now, or amazing testimonials you've received. Or you can find evidence from other people, how easy it is for all these other people to blow the F up with their work and all the things, and use that as inspiration. So awareness, shifting your inner dialogue, and finding evidence in a multitude of ways. Evidence can look so different. Like for in the example of money, I love to use this as an example. And I share this a lot in some of my abundance trainings, is to pay attention to anytime you receive things. For example, if you're wanting to attract more money, some things of evidence you could use is, oh, someone bought me lunch today. My friend gifted me these things the other day. Someone reached out to inquire about working with me. It could be a multitude of different things that I just got a refund on this thing that are evidence for you. So open your mind, keep your mind open about that. Remember, a belief is something that you decided at one point in time to accept as your truth. It's a thought that you thought over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until it became a belief. But you can change your beliefs very easily. It's just going to take awareness, shifting it in real time, evidence, and repetition. Last but not least, repetition, which is something that you can do on a day to day. And of course, you can speed up this process through filling your mind with what you desire, through subliminals, through EFT tapping, through just reminding yourself on a day to day, and being and showing up as and thinking from the vantage point of the you who's already living your dream life. Thinking from the vantage point of the you who already has all the clients, the money, your business is booming, etc. So when I work with people, I don't necessarily focus so much on all of the belief stuff, because when we shift our identity, we upgrade our identity and start to take actions that are in alignment with the version of us who's living our dream life, then our beliefs begin to shift much easier on their own. Things either come up to the surface to be looked at, processed, resolved, or they just fall away because they're not resonant with who you are now being. But there are some times when there are some deep-rooted beliefs that continue to show up or continue to sneak up or creep in different ways, even when you're stepping into your next level identity. And you don't need to allow these things to drag you back down into the old cycle. Just because something comes up for you doesn't mean you're going backwards. It doesn't mean anything other than it's coming up for you and you just noticed it. And that's great, because when you notice something coming up, that means you are aware. And that's when you can shift it in real time and find evidence of the opposite of what you desire. And I promise you, the more you just become aware of what's going on internally and you give yourself what you desire internally through your imagination, through your self-talk, it has no other choice. Reality has no other choice but to reflect it externally eventually. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. And the when no longer matters when you are living in alignment with the truth of who you are, and when you are making your peace your priority. And your mind at peace makes things so much freaking easier and smoother. Does this mean you'll never have a bad day, or you'll never experience challenges, or things won't ever come up? No, but it's how you choose to respond to it when it does. And you get to choose the thoughts you entertain, the meanings you make about things, and the actions that you take day by day. So shift your limiting beliefs by shifting your awareness. And for the love of God, stop saying that you need to work through blocks. You don't need to work through all these blocks, okay? You're not blocked. You just forgot who the fuck you are for a hot minute, and now you remembered. All right, that's all I got for you for today. I hope you loved this. Let me know below, and I'll see you in the next one.